Hello. Do you guys know what bayanihan is? It's part of Filipino culture. When people have something to move or need help, they've been known to get together in groups and come from all around and help even move houses and buildings for you. The little houses made of bamboo can be picked up and moved to new locations, and it'll help you expand your house, your mother to live in a different corner of your yard. But anyway, it's called Beninihan. Bayanihan. I'm sorry, Bayanihan. And let me send welcome to people. Um, so, Bayanihan. I'll say it again. Bayanihan. Um, I'm married to a Filipino, as you know, so that's one reason I like Filipino culture. Another um, reason, as I said, is Bayanihan. That's how I started the program. Welcome to the Kevin Story channel. I hope you like what you see and become a follower. I would like you to know that I'm out here on my patio, and my wife does quite a bit of YouTubing. And through it, I've observed that many YouTubers who are Filipino help and support each other. And she says it's part of this tradition of bayanihan, where the people in the community are quick ready to help each other. Do you have that experience in your own country or culture? Is there a tradition of that around you? Well, it's really a blessing. Um, right now, I'm trying to give a surprise for my wife here. She's making a nice garden over here in the front yard. We've been talking about putting a tree there. What kind of tree do you think we should put there? I'm a member of the National Arbor Day Foundation. National Arbor Day Foundation. I got my certificate there. And they'll let me order trees relatively cheaply now. And I'll share you the types of trees that they're indicating that we could have in our front yard. I'll first of all note that my wife really wants to have a fruit tree. So we'll look at the fruit trees first, okay? The tree book from Arbor Day Foundation. Arbor Day was a tradition created in the United States. It's an idea of tree planting. An arbor or an arborist is somebody who's an expert in tree. An arbor is an old word for tree, like the Spanish word arbol. Let me go ahead and tell you what kind of trees and bushes you might be able to order. But first, my wife is looking at fruits. You can order a raspberry bush or a blueberry bush, maybe a blackberry bush down there at the bottom, blackberry bush. I'm sure my wife would like a peach tree, and I think it might grow here. We're getting a lot more rain than we used to here. We usually think of peach trees going in southern states, but they grow about this far north. A little bit further south, you'll see a lot more. So we can have a peach tree. There's plum trees we can order. And up here you see that there are even pear trees we could order for our yard. This is a tradition of the Philippines. If you have a place in the front yard to grow a nice tree that has fruit on it, you can allow passersby to pick from it. Isn't it? So my wife kind of wanted one in the front yard. Here's some other choices here. A cherry tree, and apple tree you could also order. And these are a lot cheaper than our local nursery. Our local nursery was asking about $70 for these. We're seeing apple trees here as low as $15 and $20. So maybe I can surprise my wife and get them for her if she's interested. Other trees in the books that I kind of like are the maple trees, but we probably don't have room for fruit trees and maple trees, but it's just an idea. I was born in the town of Sycamore, and sycamore trees can look a little bit like these in color certain times of the year. Or we can have evergreen trees. I don't think my wife would want one unless it's going to become a Christmas tree. Here's a picture of somebody who got a certain evergreen and it grew really nicely in their backyard. So there's a special red maple tree order if I'd like to make it too. So I've been pondering that this afternoon. Trees are very important, and the Filipinos too plant trees annually in school. It's part of growing up. Every year, students plant trees. What do they do in your culture? Let me see. I've got a shout out. Oh, shout out from Katribo Kita. Kevin. It's really cool. Oh, later. Okay. For the trees. Well, she brought them uvas. Uvas grow here, and we've even got one uva. It means grape, and we've got them growing in the backyard. My wife likes to have a farm. We live in a small yard, but she's growing in the front in the backyard, fruits and vegetables, or vegetables. Yeah, I guess some uvas are fruit. In any case, we've got a lot of help. Our neighbors let us grow vines on the fence next to us, and I mow sometimes the yard of my neighbor behind me to get some mulch for our yard, and it helps them not have to mow so often. Do you live in a place where you can help your neighbors? This is really good to have neighbors who help. Uvas. These are sweet ones. I like the sour ones too, but my wife doesn't. So the sweet ones we got now. I tell her if she plants the or replants the grapes from the backyard to the grapes come from are grown usually in the northern areas and highlands where they get a lot of sun all day, like 14 hours or so or more in summer. So I'm waiting for you guys to join me. In the meantime, I want to ask you what you're thinking about. Why do you like Filipinos? Are you married to a Filipino? If you are, just join in and make a comment. What do you like about the Filipino culture? You're welcome to join in and make a comment. In the meantime, I really don't order that much by mail, but it's nice if you've already donated to the Arbor Day Foundation that you get some trees and share them with friends or plant them in your own yard. It's really cool. We had great weather this weekend. It had been up near 99 degrees and humid, and now it's in the 70s, and maybe it'll get into the 50s at night. And it's because of a hurricane that hit down south. The hurricane was called Laura, and it hit into what we call Cancer Alley in Louisiana, near heads of 150 miles an hour, and then it brought eventually the weather up to us. It says my connection is a little unstable, but we got back on. My connection was a little unstable. Were you able to catch what's going on? In the Philippines, the biggest and most important tree is, of course, the coconut. Coconuts can be all parts of the coconut trees used for something. Um, there's several cultures around the world, but island cultures especially know that coconut parts and coconut pieces, coconut wood and everything can make a big difference. So that's an important tree in the Philippines. But there are many other types of plants we could talk about. Particularly the malunggay tree. We'd like to have one here, but I think it won't grow this far north. Uh, and my daughter and wife and I love to have it in soup and all kinds of good things. What do you prefer? What kind of food do you prefer from Philippine culture? I'll go ahead and write that down now. Maybe somebody will answer. Cool. Culture. I could also ask again, what kind of food you like? Filipino culture. I don't think grapes really grow in the Philippines. You have to maybe up in Baguio. What food do you like? Hmm. Yesterday we had two. They said you can haggle and get it maybe from the morning. Been living near Tagboros. That's almost right on the sea. We're talking about a few meters from it, where we live. And in Port Barton, we live a short 15-minute walking distance from the sea. And both places you can negotiate some prices with the fishermen as they bring stuff in. And so you can eat healthy in the Philippines. Do you have any other foods or things about the culture that you like? I can share for you. Um, what's a bus stand like in the Philippines where people can rest in the front yard? Visitors can stop, talk. Teen shed, they call it. I'm waiting for you. Wow, wait. Carbon dioxide. Oh, we're still having connection issues. It says today, April every year is the day when everybody who has an opportunity to goes out and plants a tree. And this was started by people in Nebraska where there was very few trees, and that was century in the 19th century already. Now the plains have a lot of trees, but there's still a lot more room to plant some trees. And of course, native trees would be the best. And if you can keep the people from using up groundwater, you can plant them all over the place, really, because there's a lot of groundwater has historically been found near towns and under the towns. In Sterling, Kansas, where I lived, we always said that the Arkansas River flowed underneath the city. Of course, no one's actually been swimming under there to find out for sure, but it'd be like a tunnel cave that people have. Speaking of that, one of the things we want to do in the Philippines next time we go is to see the giant cave system near Puerto Princesa. And the underground caves are quite famous. Would you like to see them? The underground caves are in Palawan.